Hi folks, Dave here for Thunder Mesa Studio in Jerome, Arizona. Today I'm up at the old Jerome Cemetery, the old graveyard. Kind of fits in with the theme of Boot Hill I've been working on and a few other projects. But I wanted to come up here today and have a look around so we could see what a real Old West cemetery looks like. And this is the real deal. This isn't Disney-fied or Knott's Berry Farm or Tombstone with the funny headstones. This is a real graveyard out here. Most visitors to Jerome don't come out to this place or even know how to find it. Some call it Boot Hill, but it's more properly known as the Jerome Hogback Cemetery, or simply the Miners' Cemetery. I don't mind telling you, it's a little spooky out here, even in broad daylight. I don't go in much for ghost stories, but I still wouldn't want to be out here at night. Public records show over 500 burials took place here, and the oldest visible markers date to the 1890s. Still, it's hard to know for sure since so many of the markers are now missing, faded, or have just plain disintegrated. Most of the readable markers display Mexican or Italian surnames, indicating this was a graveyard for the poorer immigrant labor class of Old Jerome. A little research reveals some tragic stories of death among the miners and other citizens. There were terrible mine accidents, disease, murders, and some quick frontier justice. Many of the graves are just shallow, unmarked holes in the ground, while others are more elaborate, surrounded by Gothic wrought iron fences. All show signs of neglect and the harsh passage of time. If you love history like I do, the Jerome Miners Cemetery is a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to spend eternity here. Now, before we jump right into it today, I just wanted to show you exactly what my studio looks like when I've got a whole bunch of different projects going at the same time. Now, it may look like a complete disaster to the untrained eye, but trust me, I know where absolutely everything is in this mess. Oh look, there's my car keys. Okay, we're going to do some more work on Thunder Mesa's version of Boot Hill today. But before I get started on that, I wanted to reveal what this structure is going to be. As promised last week, now many of you guessed, and you guessed correctly, that it's going to be an Undertaker's shop. And this is the Atencio Crump and Gracie Undertaker shop, and a lot of Disney fans, especially Haunted Mansion fans, will recognize those names. Ex Atencio, Raleigh Crump, and Yale Gracie were instrumental in creating the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland. And right next door we have Madame Leota's, after Leota Tombs, palm reading parlor. And if you don't know, when you go through the seance room and the Haunted Mansion attraction, the beautiful face floating inside the crystal ball is Leota Tombs. So this is going to be the Thunder Mesa Undertakers. Got still ways to go on that project yet, and I'll be getting more into detail on that in a future video log. But suffice to say, there's going to be a spooky little effect hidden inside, which is going to be pretty cool. But right now, I want to get back to work on the Boot Hill section here. I'm going to get some ground cover in, so then we can start actually putting in the little headstones, and that's going to be fun. Here I'm sprinkling on some sandy soil that I collected in Moab, Utah, and Sedona, Arizona, various different shades, and then gluing it all down with some diluted matte medium in a spray bottle. Then I'm going to go in and glue on a few rocks here and there, just to add character. Alright, while I'm waiting for this ground cover to dry, I'm going to go ahead and create the headstones for the graves here at Boot Hill. And I've already gone ahead and created some artwork in Adobe Photoshop using real wooden textures. These are from photographs of actual weathered wood, and you scale that down and shape it and position it, and then add the little graphics, the epitaphs on the stones like that. It's printed out on HP premium printer paper. I just use a high quality inkjet printer on the highest resolution setting, and just make sure everything's nice and crisp and the colors are accurate. The next step is to laminate this onto some illustration board to give it a little depth and make it look like real wood. Okay, to laminate the artwork, I want to tape it face down on a piece of scrap cardboard like this. Piece over on this side, another piece over on this side, and then I'm just going to coat the back with some 3M General Purpose 45 spray adhesive. I use this stuff for everything. It works great. Just try not to breathe it. You want a nice, even coating on the back. Not too much, just like that. And quick before that dries, bring it over here to the workbench, and I've got a piece of 16-inch thick crescent illustration board, which I've cut to approximately the size I need. Turn that upside down, and then take the artwork off of here like this, flip it over, position it like so, pull that tape off of there, and then we just use a brayer, get all the air bubbles out, and make sure you have good adhesion and that it's nice and flat on there. Okay, now the next step is to use a hobby knife and cut each one of these out one by one. The next step is to add some wood texture to the backs of the headstones with a razor saw, just by drawing it along the illustration board like that. And once that's done, I'll paint the backs and the edges with watercolors. And this is a stain I made up of just some burnt sienna and some ultramarine blue mixed together. Makes a nice kind of silvery gray. It looks like old wood. Okay, now I think I'm ready to start gluing some of these into place. Well, all right. I think that's all I've got time for this week. Next time we're going to finish up Boot Hill, add some fencing around the whole thing, put in a spooky tree right here, some more lighting, and of course work a lot more on the Undertaker shop. Until then, adios for now.